What is Cafe Mocha? Cafe Mocha is experts, celebrities.
What's up? This is Belle Biv DeVoe.
Yours truly, Idris Elba.
This is Fantasia.
This is In Vogue.
This is India Ari.
So much more. All from a woman's perspective.
What flavor are you, baby?
This is Cafe Mocha.
Think like a man, girls trip, ride along. We've got the man behind some of your favorite movies, Will Packer. Plus, this woman single-handedly swooped in and saved Ebony magazine. We're going to talk to the new owner of Ebony Jet. Cafe Mocha begins now. I'm Angelique, along with Lonnie Love and Yo-Yo. I want to talk. Our next guest is president of HBCUGO.TV. Introduce yourself, sir.
This is Curtis Simons, president of HBCUGO.TV.
Thank you for joining Cafe Mocha. I want to talk about HBCUGO.TV. Talk about what you're doing there and how people can get involved.
Well, I really appreciate Cafe Mocha having me on today. HBCUGO.TV was a brainchild of myself and another partner of mine by the name of Clint Evans. And I actually grew up on the campus of Central State University in Ohio. Basically, my mother taught there for 40 years. My father worked there for 50 years. I've been in the media business for about 35 years. Most people remember me as executive vice president of BET for 14 years with Bob Johnson and that run. But really what HBCU Go TV is all about is giving exposure to black colleges all over the 105 historical black colleges. And really the goal of the channel is to really educate our community on the history, the value, and the legacy of historical black colleges and universities. I really want to help people understand that you can go to an HBCU and get a great education. I'm tired of hearing people say, I can't go to an HBCU because it's all black school. Well, I attended different, and anyone who has attended an HBCU will tell you the same, because it's the greatest place to really learn who you are as an individual and grow out to be what you want to be. To me, if I can do it as an HBCU grad, other people can do it. And if you look at the history of a lot of the politicians, educators, athletes, there has been numerous great people who have come to HBCUs.
Yeah, you got one on the line, Mr. Curtis.
I know.
I love me some Prairie View.
I don't know if you remember me from our old days at BT. We used to have some real good conversations back in the day.
Yes, I do.
I remember all of you on this call.
I do. What do we need to do to get started with HBCUGO.TV? What is it that we can do?
You're doing the greatest thing right now by helping me talk about it. But if you guys are, Sheila Eldridge, which is part of your organization, has been one of my big supporters. It's just continuously spreading the word. There's a channel out there now called HBC Go TV, and we are carried on Roku. It's a streaming service that is carried on Roku. We are carried on Amazon Fire Stick. Through Allen Media now, we're carried on Local Now. We're carried in conjunction with the Griot, and we're on Sports.tv. And if we can just continue to spread the message that there's a channel out there targeted to HBCUs.
And what type of programming will you have on there?
HBCU sports, lifestyle programming, educational programming, and all type of programming. Hopefully I'm trying to get Cafe Mocha TV onto that targeted to the HBCU community, from a Gen Zen audience to the alumni. And so we want to try to grow that. The content is our biggest thing. And in fact, one of the shows that Sheila did last year, HBCU show, she did last year, we hope to air on HBCU Go TV this year.
Well, are you talking about the Salute Them Awards?
Yes, exactly. There you go. You know better than I do. It's a great show. You guys do a great job of it. We aired it, second run of it last year, but I want to get on the first run this year.
Yeah, Mr. Ron, I work with Dr. Teresa Price with the National College Resource Foundation and the Black College Expo. And I'll definitely,
Yes.
Yeah, I'll definitely make sure to let the people know if you can get us some information out too.
We would love to do that. And I just want to put this out there that our website is hbcugo.tv is our website. And you can talk to too many people who didn't attend an HBCU and say, man, if I only would have known what an HBCU, I would have been there. I just didn't know. I didn't know. So I went another route.
And that's why it's so important to have a channel like HBCUGo.tv, because even like a person like me, it was word of mouth. It was a mentor that got me to and told me about. I didn't know what a historically Black college was. I was from Detroit.
Exactly.
And I went to one of those schools, universities up in Michigan, which was all white. It was huge, and I got lost in the system. What people need to understand with HBCUs, they're a smaller class size. It's catered to your culture. The experience is nothing like I've ever had. And your college experience, that's a very vulnerable time. And it sets your foundation.
There you go right there. So Allen Media Group and HBCU Go have partnered up now to be that anchor and to be that plug that is now going to drive more people to HBCUs. And that's our goal.
Well, if you need anything from Prairie View, I am a proud presidential medal honoree. So I'm good with the president and that's my campus. That is my home. And we got somebody from Howard. You got
a bicycle on there for sure. There's no question on that.
They're always around. It's plenty.
Keep that word out there that there's a channel out there that everybody needs to check out. I would love you for it. There's no question.
We definitely will. Definitely will. Thank you so much for spending time with us and
no problem.
About HBCUGo.tv.
It's Cafe Mocha. I'm Angelique. We know and love this guy because he produced the Think Like a Man movies, Girl Trip. He paired up Ice Cube, Kevin Hart for Ride Along. And on the line right now is Will Packer. Welcome to Cafe Mocha.
Hey, what's happening? Thanks for having me.
You know what? Lonnie's shooting a movie right now, so she's a little busy. Yo-Yo is on a cruise or, doing things that Yo-Yo does. So it's you and I, and I'm happy to have you on the show.
Oh, good. I'm happy to be here. I love that the ladies are off doing their thing. I'm not surprised at all. I think we all wish we were with Yo-Yo right now. I could use that cruise. I'm about that cruise life.
Yeah, we giving one away, so
Nice.
So listen, hardcore fans know you from I'll call it a flick that you did 20 plus years ago, Twa. But TV.
I love you call it a flick. I like that because Twa was an erotic thriller. So it was definitely, I've gone in a different direction since then, but a lot of people might call it a flick because it was, steamy and sexy.
It was. It's on a few of my friends' top favorite. Anyway, we won't get into the erotica-ness of it. But, film and television has changed a lot since then, especially when it comes to representation. We got Shonda Rhimes, who pretty much took over ABC for a time. Tyler Perry made his way in with, his self-funded movies. We got Black Hobbits now on Lord of the Rings. But
we everywhere. The culture, stand up.
Right. But we still have work to do. Where do you think Hollywood needs to go right now?
Oh, it needs to continue with trying to showcase underserved voices, trying to get people in front and behind the camera that haven't before, right? Haven't had their stories told, haven't had that opportunity. And there's so many. You got to remember, we were so far behind in terms of Hollywood imagery, Hollywood power being distributed equitably. So far behind that even though there are a lot more folks getting their voices heard with production companies, producing movies, starring in movies, writing movies, we've had such a dearth for so long that we've got a lot of catching up to do. So we just can't forget that. But the important thing is that the economic power is shifting a little bit. You're starting to see projects that have Black and brown folks on camera, in front of the camera, do very well. And that's ultimately the barometer for success in Hollywood is what you can do financially from a business standpoint. You can't forget that. Mm-hmm. Now we just need to try to get some more power brokers behind the scenes.
I mean, look at the Viola Davis movie that just came out where they thought it wasn't going to do what it did. And it turned out that who was showing up in the theaters? Women 35 and up. So is that what you mean by the economic power, showing them that we will show up for them when you put out our movies?
100%, without a doubt. That at the end of the day, I tell people, audiences, you guys really control Hollywood. You tell them what you want to see and what you don't want to see. The actors that resonate with you, those that don't, the storylines and subject matters that you want to see more of. Audiences have the power. And so ultimately, that's what Hollywood is reacting to. And it doesn't matter the medium, streaming, theatrical, television. They're reacting to audiences and audiences' taste as best as Hollywood can, I should say.
We're talking to Will Packer, and the audience, at least part of the audience, has spoken about the Little Mermaid trailer. Movie's not even out yet. And of course, some folks
love that. Hallie.
I'll let you speak on that part of it. But then there's the other part of it where YouTube had to shut down comments because over 1 million people are pissed off that the new Little Mermaid is black.
Yeah. You know what? It was black when you woke up mad. She's going to be black when you go to sleep. And the movie's still coming out. Nothing you can do about it. So that's what I say to the haters and detractors. If you are black in this industry, you know what we've been up against. You know that.
Yeah.
But this is shining a light on it. But I give props to Disney for pushing forward with that. I'm actually working right now on a movie for Disney Plus with a black Santa Claus. So
nice.
Get your fingers ready. Some of those same people that didn't like it. If you thought you hated Black Little Mermaid, wait till you get a load of Black Kris Kringle. I got something for you.
According to my old 45, Santa Claus is a black man. That's how I remember the song going.
Come on now.
I want to talk about navigating Hollywood as black talent because it's tricky. As a white filmmaker, you release a okay movie, flops at the box office, is treated like, well, you win some, you lose some. Black filmmaker flops, it is commentary on us as a people and that we won't support black films. If a white actor, for example, let's say Casey Affleck gets accused of sexual harassment on the set, he goes on to win an Oscar. All that stuff is paid off, scandal diminished. But if, you're, let's say, Nate Parker, you get blackballed for decades. For him, it was an old rape case that he was tried and found innocent of. Looking at yourself as somebody that's traversing this world, how do you navigate this place that is so unforgiving to us and can just one bad move, even if it was however many years ago, could have you out with the white Hollywood?
I think you try to stay true to yourself and your own moral compass and not be corrupted by this or any other industry, not be corrupted by what other folks are doing. You're right. There are multiple standards at play. Oftentimes, it's not specific to this industry, just across the world. For me, I just try to stay true to who I am, and that's all I can do and all I can be, and try to just be the best Will Packer I can be and the way I was raised and the people that I want to see succeed. Legacy is important to me, trying to help other folks who otherwise may not have an opportunity were it not on one of my movies, one of my sets, one of my writing rooms. Right. I take a lot of pride in the opportunities I'm able to give through my position in the industry.
Gotcha. And so speaking of future talent, I guess on social media, there was the big, who's going to replace Denzel? Because we have this thing in Hollywood where there's only allowed to be that one Kevin Hart. There's only allowed to be that one Denzel, and they're not really cultivating the talent the way Black filmmakers are. So when you look at sort of the up and coming talent, who are you excited about, future Black actors and actresses that are going to be the next Viola, Denzel, Kevin?
There's a lot of them. I don't think anybody is the next. I always think of people as the first. Nobody can be Denzel, period. No, right? Nobody can do what he does or Sam. These folks that have been in the game for a minute, the legends, Angela Bassett, Halle Berry, you're not going to duplicate them. But there certainly is a new generation of amazing actors for this new generation of consumers. And, you know, whether you're talking about Lupita Nyong'o or Michael B. Jordan, you know, right now I'm doing a movie with Lil Rel and Ludacris, who are both really, really good. And then, you know, you can go younger. We talked about, you know, Halle Bailey. How about her sister, Chloe Bailey, who I just worked with, who's very talented from the music side, but coming over and acting. How about Quinta Brunson, you know, and Issa Rae?
Yeah.
Like, it's just such, I love the fact that there is a new crop, fresh crop, and some of them have different backgrounds. Some came from, you know, social media, web series, creating their own projects. Some came more traditionally through, you know, drama schools at some of the top schools and programs, you know, and some, you know, just found their way in by hook or crook by any means necessary. Because remember, Hollywood's not standing outside with a sign and saying, hey, who's next? Who's coming? Who else wants in? And not doing that. It's tough. It's tough to break in. And so I love the opportunity to see that next generation of folks. I don't compare them with the last generation because it's different.
One of the things I love about your career is that you don't just do the comedies, that you have invested in documentaries, that you've invested in, you know, children's programs. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about is your recently produced Nickelodeon series, That Girl Lele, which was created and written by comedian David Arnold, who unfortunately passed away here recently.
R.I.P. to a comedic legend and a really, really, really good brother and a close friend of mine, David Arnold, who, as you said, yes, was the creator and my partner on the show That Girl Lele. It's a show I'm really, really proud of. David brought that show to life and showcased two young Black girls, and they're coming into our homes every week. It's one of Nickelodeon's highest rated shows. I'm very, very proud of it. Audiences have responded to it. And, you know, where else on TV are you going to see two young Black girls who are at the centerpiece of the storylines? The show revolves around them. So very proud of the work that the team has done, led so admirably by the irreplaceable David Arnold.
Yeah, and for those who watched for the grown folks, they probably know him from the Netflix stand-up Fat Ballerina. Season 2, you guys are on season 2 of that right now, right? We are.
Yeah, absolutely. Season 2 of That Girl Lele. It's Thursday nights on Nickelodeon. Really proud of it. Lele is our star. That girl, she is that girl. And her cast is amazing too, though. It's great, and we are able to do. It's a show that's it's for everybody. You know, It's not exclusive. It's very inclusive. But it happens to be told through the lens of these two girls who happen to be Black. I love that, you know, and we talk about school and bullying and hair and, you know, all those kind of things that kids of all stripes have to deal with, but certainly very specifically through the Black girl lens. I'm very proud of that.
And you've broken into our field, which, I mean, I don't know when podcasting became such a huge deal, but you have a season 2 of The Lower Bottoms with Debbie Allen, Amber Riley, and you're into podcasting, Mr. Filmmaker. First of all, why get involved in telling stories in this small, intimate medium of me and my headphones and audio?
You know, because it is storytelling. Just what you said. You don't have the benefit of the visual medium, but you can tell some very strong narrative stories. And for me as a producer, it gives me an opportunity to see if something connects with an audience that then deserves to be potentially explored in other mediums. So it was really, really smart from a business standpoint. But from a creative standpoint, it allows you to hone the narrative in a very different way. And so, yes, we have a show called The Lower Bottoms. We are in our second season. If you haven't seen the first season, that's okay. Or heard, I should say.
Does it make it hard for you as someone who's putting this together to think, oh, they're not going to see this? I know it must change the way you do things.
Well, yeah, it changes the execution, but not the process of developing the narrative. You still have to have engaging characters. You still have to give them backstory. You still have to present them a certain way that audiences will receive it. You still have to have amazing actors. The stuff that I'm doing on podcasts is not, you know, like a show like this. It is definitely more of like narrative storytelling in the podcast space. I need actors. I need great voice actors. So you talked about, Amber Riley, Debbie Allen, Kelsey Grammer, Theo Rossi, a whole host of others who came in to get down with us on this season of The Lower Bottoms, which I'm proud of. The answer to your question is that if there's a medium that allows us to tell stories in a really rich way, I want to be a part of it. I've been very fortunate to have had a lot of success on the film side. I'm now, very active in television, scripted and non-scripted, I might add. And so podcast is just a natural evolution for me.
Gotcha. Before I let you go, I want to remind people that Beast is still in theaters. Is it going to be streaming soon? Yeah, absolutely. Wherever you stream your movies, you'll be able to see it on demand, and soon it will be on Peacock. But yeah, it's a fun movie. Get ready, get your popcorn. We love
Idris Elba does his thing. And come on now, that's my guy. He can do no wrong in my eyes. That's my brother. He did an amazing job with that movie. We're very proud of it.
Will Packer, catch That Girl Lele Thursday nights on Nickelodeon, plus season 2 of The Lower Bottoms, available on iHeart and wherever you stream your podcast. The Beast in theaters now. Will Packer, thank you so much. And hopefully next time Lonnie will be here so she can ask you to put her in one of your movies. I'm just doing it on her behalf, okay?
I'm going to put it out there right now. I'm going to drop this little nugget for the listeners, even though Lonnie isn't here. But Lonnie is going to be in an upcoming movie that we are shooting later this year. So That's all I can say about it, but it's coming. So I was hoping we could talk about that a little bit today, but she's off shooting another movie. Lonnie don't need no more jobs. She's busy. She out there working. You don't need nothing from Will Packer. She's making it happen. Now give Lonnie my love, because she's always been a big supporter, and I appreciate her and Yo-Yo and you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Beast is currently streaming on Peacock. And don't forget the Salute Them Awards is coming October 23rd. It's presented by Toyota and AARP. We're honoring HBCU trailblazers like the grandmother of Juneteenth, Opal Lee, MSNBC host Tiffany Cross, and Missy Elliott. Go to SaluteThemAwards.com to RSVP. When you do, you are automatically registered to win a Disney cruise for you and your family.
We're at Cafe Mocha Radio.
Okay, y'all.
Sisters in Solidarity, a celebration of girl groups for Black Music Month, hosted by the award-winning Funky Divas In Vogue.
It's Cindy Herron from In Vogue with this Black Music Month Spotlight. From the Bay, they were ahead of their time. Style and musical trendsetters for every girl group that followed. With 3 Grammy Awards and 2 American Music Awards, they're one of the first girl groups to have a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
We're really hard workers, and we go out there and we take our job very seriously.
With hits like Automatic, Jump, He's So Shy, and I'm so excited. We celebrate the Pointer Sisters, our sisters in solidarity.
Girl groups who shape the fabric of contemporary music and soundtracks of our lives. Be sure to join the hashtag Ladies in Solidarity Music Challenge on Instagram. To experience more, visit cafemocharadio.com. Brought to you by...
It's time to embrace you, your melanin-rich skin, and its unique beauty needs.
When you get over the age of 50, you definitely have to start using things on your skin.
iKnow is made specifically to address maturing skin conditions. All of the iKnow products provide highly effective natural ingredients dedicated to delivering proven results.
The best advice my mother gave me, take care of your skin now so to take care of you later.
iKnow, your beauty solution for maturing skin.
It's Cafe Mocha.
It's Cafe Mocha. If you're over 40, you remember rushing to the mailbox to get Jet and Ebony magazines. The guys were checking out the Jet beauty, girls checking out the fashions. We remember seeing the photos of the it Black couples in Ebony, the weddings, the passings. You know, these 2 magazines together and separately, they help tell our stories and fill us with a lot of Black pride. Joining us right now is the new owner and newly appointed CEO of the Ebony Media Group, which includes Ebony and Jet, Eden Bridgman. Welcome to Cafe Mocha.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. Excited to have a chance to talk about Ebony and Jet.
And for you, I mean, I vividly remember, we could only afford one of the magazines and it was Ebony. But when I went to the hair salon, I would, be able to check out Jet. But, for you coming up, what did these magazines mean in your family, to you, to your parents, your grandparents?
I think for each generation, it is meant the same. It just may have looked different based upon the era that the individual was kind of growing up in and being exposed to Ebony and Jet. But at its core, for my grandparents, for my parents and I, it was the opportunity to see others that looked like you doing life in a way that you dreamt, or hopefully this would be your trajectory.
Yeah.
The excellence, the success, the idea that your life could be more than what other either publications, media, culture, the world, society, all of that wrapped in one may have been saying this is all that you could be. Ebony and Jet said, no, you can be more than that, and we're going to show you through the covers, through the stories of others that have paved a way so that hopefully we could experience the same excellence in lifestyle that those that were being profiled in the magazine. So I think for my grandparents, it meant something, and it meant something for my parents, but at its core, it's always been a chance to see ourselves reflected when others didn't want to allow us to see our true selves.
Yeah. I mean, this is like the original Black Twitter, Instagram. Before we had all these pictures, it was just these magazines. And like you said, I just remember looking at like Debbie Allen and being like, yeah, one day I'm going to go to Hollywood. And, but, here's a thing that has concerned me over the past decade, especially as, print publications are going away, especially as consolidation continues to grow and grow, is that we're losing our stuff. We're losing our media. So much of the stuff that used to be Black owned or used to be family owned are now getting swooped up. There's like, what is it, like three companies in the world now? It's Amazon, it's Costco, it's, so why was it important to you to, save Ebony Jet and to come in as a Black owner and revive, this franchise, if you will?
I think for what you had already stated, the idea of, your family was able to afford Ebony, but you went to the beauty salon and you saw Jet. And for me, that was my first exposure, was sitting underneath that hair dryer for what felt like weeks, trying to, get those pin curls just tight enough that I would sit there and I would flip through Ebony's and Jets, and I would see a world that I didn't even know existed. I grew up in Louisville, Kentucky. I didn't grow up in a major metropolitan city. So I needed Ebony and Jet to tell me what was cool, what was happening in a way that I wasn't necessarily exposed on my day-to-day life. And the idea that even though we have many ways now to maybe see people of color, it was lost in the idea that we had a home that was always for us, by us, that would uplift us, give us a chance to tell our stories in a way that other media couldn't, and that even is limited through social media, through other kind of mediums, that doesn't paint the totality of the person from their kind of inner, what drives them, what moves them. And also not they're part of the conversation, but they're driving the necessary conversations that are void right now and need to be a opportunity for us to see again what was done in the magazines, but now using all different mediums, not just print, not just digital, not just social, but an entire ecosystem so that it can tell who we are as a people now and where we want to go, which is why we coined the phrase Ebony moving Black forward, because we feel the brand and brands, including Jet, have that opportunity to move the Black community forward.
So speaking of that, you guys launch Ebony Studios. That sounds like movies, sounds like TV shows. What is it? Tell me.
It is everything that you just listed and hopefully so much more. The idea that I now sit with ownership of and stewardship, I would say, of 76 years of history, and that it is my responsibility to bring those stories that are now lost due to the ever-changing way we consume content, to bring them forward and to remind people that although we have seen progress, let us also not forget how much further we need to go, and to celebrate those heroes that may just be lost in time, that are written in the pages of Ebony and the pages of Jet. But now I can bring those stories to life, either from just a historical standpoint, but also a modern telling of what moved us, what was in fashion, what made us laugh, what challenged us and revealed something that we all needed to grapple with. And so Ebony Studios is going to bring those stories to life through film, television, documentaries, podcasts, and kind of every way that we can make sure our stories are told and told all over the world.
And preserved, like you said. I remember, was it last year, a couple of years ago, when all the pictures from Ebony were sold at an auction. And I know I was sitting there, you know, like everybody else going, wait, that's our history. Those are our stories. Can you sort of talk about that and saving these magazines?
Yeah, I will say the beauty of what happened with that sale is that they are now going to be preserved by the African American History Museum in D.C., that they have the responsibility, and I think they are right to have now a chance to tell the story through the photographic archive.
If you go to ebony.com, they just released their Big Power 100 list. Plus, you have to see the cover of the September-October magazine. Sierra's on the cover looking amazing. Coming up in the Espresso, folks are mad at Trina and Saucy Santana.
Here's your dose of espresso. Strong, hot news now.
This is the Espresso. I know a lot of people are happy to hear this announcement.
As I said when I ran for president, no one should be in jail just for using or possessing marijuana. It's already legal in many states.
President Biden says he's pardoning all federal offenses for simple marijuana possession. Meanwhile, some black folks are furious about this rap song featuring Trina and Saucy Santana.
He got mad joke, he don't seem broke. The only red flag is that he don't vote. This midterms for all the single Q. Wanna hit this booty, gotta do your civic duty. No voting, no loving, no voting, no touching.
The dating app BLK is behind the song. Okay, so maybe it's not your taste, but if it gets the 20-somethings to vote, that's all that matters. And the story of Emmett Till hits movie theaters this weekend, told from the perspective of his mother, Mamie.
We don't often know what the experience of the black woman in the civil rights movement is. People don't know about the challenges that she faced as a result of his death being announced.
Till is in select theaters now. That's the Espresso. Cafe Mocha, I'm Angelique, talking to the woman who swooped in and saved our beloved Ebony and Jet magazines, Eden Bridgman. What can we expect next from Ebony Jet?
I'd say world domination.
I love it.
That is, as a businesswoman, I look at this as it is my job to bring Ebony and Jet both from a digital, which you can't necessarily touch and feel the brand, but you can consume it in such a way, to a tangible where you can touch and feel the brands as you used to. So yes, you will see us print at times when it makes sense, but you'll see us also create films and television. You'll see us also create other revenue streams, fashion and products, because one of the best things that happened when my family and we were able to acquire the brands is that people called us saying, would you partner with me to create Ebony Wine? Would you create the Ebony credit card, which we like to say will be the real black card one day if that's the decision that we make. But for us, sky is the limit. We just have to use our business acumen to make sure that the business models behind these ideas can lead us to the future. We said that this is a legacy play for our family. We didn't acquire these brands as a private equity move where you're going to see us build it up and sell it off in a few years. We're in this for the long term. And so that's the kind of business model that we will be setting up behind these brands so that generationally, we don't have to ever worry about Ebony or Jet being lost, that they'll always be a part of us in a meaningful way.
When you guys get ready to do your podcast, just sign me up. You know, I've been doing this radio thing for a long time. And any assistance you guys need, any leadership you need, you can count on me. And I'm sure that, you know, Lonnie and Yo-Yo would agree with, contributing to what you guys are doing, because the idea of losing our magazines without Essence, without Ebony, without Jet, those are the three. And we've watched this turmoil happen over the past few years. You know, we need you.
And we look at this as the responsibility for all. Yes, we may sit from an ownership standpoint, but we all were impacted by what Mr. Johnson and Johnson Publishing Company and Eunice Johnson and Linda and those before us that did the blood, sweat, and tears so that we could see the possibilities for our future. And so it is necessary for so many people to be part of this journey, and that it's not just my family's responsibility to carry it, but for all of us, because I love to tell the story that when we were first looking for the right personnel to come on board, there was a young woman who had an Ebony magazine position behind her, because we're, during the pandemic was when we took over, so everybody was on Zoom. And she let me know that her grandfather had written into the magazine for one of their writing contests and won. And he was awarded an automobile. And instead of just keeping the automobile, he sold the car, used the money in order to purchase a new home. And she said that was the first time her family had ever been homeowners. And it's because of Ebony that her family's trajectory changed.
Wow.
So that's where the responsibility isn't just within my family. It's really making sure that the brand continues to create those type of generational change that it has from many, many generations so far, and what we hope will continue under our leadership.
And when you say it's all of our responsibility, that means the people listening as well. Because once we put this content out, it's your responsibility to support it, because obviously, nothing moves forward without the support, without the listener, without the consumer being involved in it. So Eden Bridgman is the new CEO and new owner of, I'm going to say Ebony Jet, but it is officially Ebony Media Group. Thank you, Eden. Pleasure talking to you.
Thank you, and have a blessed day.
The Salute Them Awards is streaming October 23rd. Some of the honorees you know, like Reverend Jesse Jackson, Missy Elliott. Some of them you've seen on the news, like the grandmother of Juneteenth, Opal Lee. Some have been working hard behind the scenes to benefit us all, like marketing geniuses Septosa Foster and Shantae Bacon, and Devon Henry, whose construction company has been hired to take down Confederate statues throughout the South. Get ready to be inspired, but first you have to RSVP at SaluteThemAwards.com. The registration also makes you eligible to win a Disney cruise. That's the Salute Them Awards, October 23rd, presented by Toyota and AARP. That's the show. Until next time, you can find us on all platforms at Cafe Mocha Radio.
Cafe Mocha is a production of Miles Ahead Broadcasting in partnership with Compass Media. Executive producer Sheila Eldridge. For comments, booking, or more information, visit CafeMochaRadio.com.
Okay, y'all. Sisters in Solidarity, a celebration of girl groups for Black Music Month, hosted by the award-winning Funky Divas In Vogue.
Hey, it's Terry Ellis from In Vogue with this Black Music Month Spotlight. They are true sisters in the spirit who helped bring gospel music into the mainstream. With 3 Grammy Awards, 16 albums, and millions in sales, they are the highest-selling female gospel group in history.
When you're just faithful over the gift that God has given unto you, He can continue to allow you to move forward.
With hits like Is My Living in Vain, You Brought the Sunshine, and Pure Gold, we celebrate the Clark sisters, our sisters in solidarity.
Girl groups who shape the fabric of contemporary music and soundtracks of our lives. Be sure to join the hashtag Ladies in Solidarity Music Challenge on Instagram. To experience more, visit CafeMochaRadio.com. Brought to you by...
It's time to embrace you, your melanin-rich skin, and its unique beauty needs.
When you get over the age of 50, you definitely have to start using things on your skin.
I-Know is made specifically to address maturing skin conditions. All of the I-Know products provide highly effective natural ingredients dedicated to delivering proven results.
The best advice my mother gave me, take care of your skin now so to take care of you later.
I-Know, your beauty solution for maturing skin.